energy power. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting LA Rams taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
The first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. He spins free, and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Seattle, they'll have their first go on offense here, led by their man under center, Russell Wilson. And, you know, I don't know how many Week 3 games are labeled must-win, but you felt like that game against Dallas, Week 3, which they did win, Charles, was pretty important, especially given how the Rams have looked in the NFC West.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And let's just say the Rams are the class of the NFC West. If you want to compete for a wild card spot, they have to have a much better performance and get on the horse. And that's what Seattle had to do on Sunday against Dallas, and they did. Russell Wilson, 16 of 26, 192 yards, a couple of touchdowns. He's going to be harassed all year long, but he knows how to stay calm and make plays.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Speaking of Chris Carson, you know, Week 1 he had 7 carries, 6 in Week 2, and Pete Carroll says he's gassed in that Monday night game after playing on special teams. Well, then he comes back on Week 3, carries the ball 32 times, CD.
Yeah, for 102 yards and a touchdown. So my guess, he didn't play much on special teams against Dallas. They made sure he just carried the football. And first-round pick Rashad Penny only got 3 carries. But here's why Chris Carson became the lead guy. Physical, physical, physical. He's going to pound it inside the tackles. He's going to make defenses.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason.
Now a hit and a loose football. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Jared Goff bringing out the 3-0 Rams in that offense. See what they can do. They were pretty good Week 3 in the win over the Chargers. Jared Goff, 354 yards in that game. That's exactly what he threw for in Week 2.
Yeah, how come people have said, hey, just make him a game manager type? I think they said that because of the weapons around him, because he can throw to Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, hand it to Todd Gurley and throw it to him. But he can make big throws downfield, and they're utilizing that talent. And I just see Jared Goff continuing to develop, and people now remembering why he was.
Look at this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Woods, the intended receiver.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Samson Ebukam in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And that means my eyes go to Doug Baldwin out on the perimeter. He plays the game so hard and with such passion, but also plays it skillfully. Only one drop last season on his way to another Pro Bowl season.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. To throw is Wilson, and it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right, the social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 17 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives you something.
And he lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. So a first quarter fumble in the rain, and this isn't supposed to let up. They've had flash flood warnings just west of here, so they better get used to this.
And it's hard to do real early in the game because you're so amped up and you're trying to do so much. You've got to get used to it, though. You've got to focus in on the ball, make sure you're taking care of it. That would cost him.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Matt Longacre in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Let's go, 14.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Samson Ebukam in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now Now Wilson on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And on that one, able to catch it. Also,
of a play. Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Out to kick is Janikowski. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Los Angeles Rams coming back out for their next drive. Let's just take a peek at what they've done so far this year. We mentioned earlier they're 3-0, but it's how they've done it. All 3 wins by double digits.
Yeah, they've gotten after people, and people were wondering how will they start the season, because in preseason they didn't show a whole lot, and not many frontline guys played. And they've come out blazing, so big credit to their coaching staff. Big credit to the players for having that maturity to be ready to go. And they are pointing towards the Super Bowl, and rightly so. They're winning on offense. The defense is shutting people down. They even blocked a punt on Sunday against the Chargers.
First time they've won those 3 games by double digits since '99. Now, they were in St. Louis then, but that's the year they won the Super Bowl. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game, because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him in.
And this will be caught at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10, Goff again. And his throw is incomplete. Looking again in the direction of Woods, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Call. And he comes back with one complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And Zerline's kick is good. And they are on the board, trailing now 6-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key of these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And it's a good return here as he'll...
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Here's Goff now on second down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And oh, he coughed it up. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Goff on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Being chased out left. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the pressure gets to him as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. And now Sebastian Janikowski on for the long distance. He's hit from 61 and 63 in his career. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The final shot before break here. Goff. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And that is incomplete. So we are at half. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the areas and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. To throw on second down is gone. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Throwing is Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Only a yard on the completion. It's second and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on second and goal. Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Out to kick is Janikowski. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now Goff. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot. And they connected there and picked up a first down.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
First down, L.A. Goff finding Higbee.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. Airing it out deep for Woods. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. From the gun, here's Goff. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Goff off the bootleg. And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a 1-score, 6-point game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Oh, he shifts past him. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Clock continuing to roll as the Rams try to get going again. They'll look to throw. They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll get to the 29-yard line. Brought
Offside.
down there.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah,
Still second
offsides,
down.
easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So the penalty erases their earlier loss. Now it's 2nd and 8. Goff now to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. These elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Desperation time for Goff on 4th. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
It's just been one mistake after another on the offensive side of the ball. That's now 3 interceptions to go along with 2 fumbles for them. And if you're going to turn the ball over 5 times in a game, your chances to win have to be about 100 to 1. And it's not looking good for them here.
This is Carson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They run again with Carson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Carson. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. They run it with Carson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. They run for it with Carson. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Now it's Carson. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line.
An NFC Championship game rematch. It's the coach. You're watching Week 5 of the NFL on EA Sports. Last January, it was Case Keenum versus Nick Foles. Today, it's Kirk Cousins versus Carson Wentz as the Minnesota Vikings head to Philly to take on the Eagles. I'll have stats and scores around the league at halftime, but first, let's send it out to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Straight ahead is a rematch of last year's NFC Championship game between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10. On play action, Cousins. And they didn't wait long to take a shot there, that's for sure, but it falls incomplete, and it's 2nd down. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. So after the INT, here's Wentz. Ertz has it left side. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Go. 120.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Goes underneath for Sproles. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. Shotgun now for Wentz. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Kentrell Brothers In there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
They start the drive with Cook. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now defense sold out for the run. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead.
I know guys who design defenses, they try to prepare for everything. But you ignore the guy who plays tight end at your own peril.
Yeah, and he's like having another wide receiver out there sometimes, right?
Exactly right, because they're such a matchup nightmare, and they're hybrid guys. Are they receivers? Are they big guys that block? How about the one we just saw there? Catch it and go. Run after catch all the way into the end zone.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Okay, let's just make this one simple. We know that the running game is not their thing, but they can't just throw it on every single down without expecting some real heat from the pass rush.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Cook. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
It looks way too easy right now. 2 carries, 2 straight first down runs. The eyes are carrying the legs to the proper hole, but they're being created by an offensive line that has the leverage game going for them right now. Lower than the defensive front, creating space, and he's finding it in a big way. Gotta love what they're doing on offense right now. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
If it's not one guy, it's another with this defense. I mean, this is the #1 unit against the rush in the entire NFL. They know how to cover for each other, and yeah, they've got great players. They also have very dependable players, too.
They pitch it out to Cook. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on third down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On first down, Murray. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A toss to Cook. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there. It leads to 4th down.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on third down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Flush to his right. And he's able to find Diggs. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, but when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. That one was an extended drive. 14 plays all told. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota.